back to another episode of Outcasts to Icons, and as always, if you are enjoying the series, please do drop a like on the video. Now, before we get into today's episode, I know that I haven't mentioned this in a while, but I'm actually still ill. It's been like 10 days now. Unfortunately, it's just like hay fever, sore throat, cold kind of stuff that I generally get this time of year. So apologies if I sound a little bit stuffy when I'm talking. I'm trying to avoid it, but it's difficult, as I'm sure you know, talking when you've got all kinds of weird shit going on. So yeah, just bear that in mind. Right. Other thing is, I wanted to do a question of the day. We've not done this for bloody ages, and I think I might have done this before, but it's been such a long time, I figured why not bring it back. Regen names. Now, you do get some pretty stupid ones on FM, and that's part of the fun, actually, is finding stupid name regens. So I want to know, what is your most ridiculous named regen player? I once had one called Thank God Umbar back on FM14, which was quite a weird one. I didn't actually ever have him. I saw him on a scout report and thought, well, that is... yeah. So, let's get into what's happening. As you can see, there's quite a lot of red on the board at the moment, and I'm moderately, as much as that's the case, I'm moderately happy with the way things are actually going at the moment. Also, we've been linked, but obviously didn't get offered, the West Ham job, which was quite an interesting one as well. So, let's just jump straight in, basically. So, after the Dortmund game, which was a really solid performance, grabbing a win against, a draw against Dortmund was a huge result. We then had a relatively winnable game against Freiburg, and not only was it relatively winnable, but it was relatively won. Oh, apologies again. We went in front through Revaz Gulauri, who's had a fantastic season for us so far. He's been an absolute standout, really. Of our new players, he's the one that's really taken to this team like a duck to water, and I think he's going to be just so important in us staying up, basically. So, he gave us the lead, but Philip Bong, which is a glorious name, managed to equalise for Freiburg not long afterwards, and I guess I would have taken a point, but I really didn't want that, and we won what I would consider to be a little bit of a dodgy penalty, but we'll take it. Kelvin took it, and we were 2-1 up, and Christopher Kraus managed to, well, I say that. The highlight started and I thought, right, I'm going to start making some substitutions now, and you know how often this happens when you set up a substitution and the player that's coming off scores right as it happened, but thank God it did, because it made it 3-1, and then I was able to make the triple sub that I was planning anyway, and all was well on the night, and I think Jalauri actually got himself 2 assists in this game as well, so all was very, very nice, and it gave us a win that we really, really needed, I think that was our first win of the season, actually. Yes, it was. Next up, we had Bayern away from home, and this was always going to be a tough one, and it proved to be exactly that, unfortunately. We were alright, I have to say, but we were 4-0 down in the first half. Lewandowski, Muller, 3-0 down after 15 minutes in this one. They just shot at us like crazy, and then when Goetze added a fourth, they kind of just shut up shop after that. We came back into it a bit with the chances, but we just weren't able to put any in the back of the net, and a 4-0 defeat at the hands of Bayern, I guess isn't, it could have been worse. I've had some horrific defeats at the hands of teams like this, so Bayern are back this year as well. They are having a lovely time, so it's not quite like the poor self that they had a few years ago where they came like 8th or something. Next up, we had newly promoted Mainz, who of course came up with us, and they're struggling. At the time of us playing them, they'd lost all 6 games that they'd played. So for me, this was an absolutely massive game, and we were at home, so I felt that we really did need to win. Weissenberger, as he does, from a corner, made it 2-1 in the 38th minute, but annoyingly, right on the stroke of half-time, Yehuda Kamari equalised for Mainz, and I was worried. But we won a penalty with 9 minutes to go, and Breno dispatched it to give us a huge 2-1 win for our season, and actually move us up to 11th in the table, which was great. Ryan Jacko did pick up a knock in like the 90th minute, but it thankfully wasn't too serious, so all was well on that front. Next up, we had a game against Braunschweig, and it was away from home, and we were quite good in this one, and I think, if anything, we were a little bit unlucky to lose it. They were still slightly the better side in terms of shots, but I think we put in a really solid performance, but unfortunately Stefan Reinhardt's goal was the difference between us, and it's games like this, if we can just get a little bit more consistent and start nicking points in games like this, I think that's going to be the difference between us going up, well, not going up, us staying up, basically, or us having a poor season, essentially. That's, for me, is going to be the main problem for us, is getting results like that. Next up, we had Red Bull Leipzig, and they're a great side at the moment, but I genuinely thought that we should have won, or should have at least got a point out of this. We played so well. We took the lead from a Kelvin penalty on 4 minutes, and things started off really strongly. A penalty, 1-0 up against Leipzig, looking good on the night as well. Unfortunately, 13 minutes into the game, Branimir Hugota equalised for Leipzig, and I thought, here we go. Because they were playing okay as well, but they just weren't really... They were actually playing quite a counter-attacking style on us as well, and they seemed to be content to let us have the ball, unfortunately. Then Stendera managed to put them in front, and then Ernest Mercado grabbed another for them, and I was a bit disappointed to be 3-1 down at that point, because we were playing well. Thankfully, Kelvin, getting in at the back post, made it 3-2, and scored his second goal of the match already, which is a surprising amount of goals actually, but considering he's supposed to be the support player on the wing in this particular system, but he did a good job. Unfortunately, Ernest Mercado got another one. They were 4-2 down at half time, and I must say I felt that was a bit harsh on us. Ryan Jacko got us right back into it not long into the second half by making it 4-3, but we just couldn't kick on, and it was a real shame. We just weren't quite able to do enough to grab a point out of this game. I feel like we had some chances late on, and Jacko just couldn't quite stick it in the net. Jalari still had a great game though. Again, he's been fantastic, as did Köln, of course, but still not picking up man of the match, of course, because Mercado grabbed himself a brace and thus was awarded it. That being said, Köln also got himself a brace, so maybe a little bit harsh there, but we were on the losing side. Next up, it was Werder Bremen, and again, we're not losing by large margins. Apart from that game against Bayern and the one against Stuttgart on the opening day, we've been okay in some of these games. Bremen away was never going to be an easy tie for us, and we still did our best. We weren't that bad in this one either. We're very close to getting some good results at the moment, and that's my worry, is they're close, but we're not getting them, and that could come back to bite us. Todor Nedelev gave them the lead on 16 minutes, but not quite insta-highlight. Ryan Jacko levelling up for us on 80 minutes. Then we did get an insta-highlight, unfortunately. Corbinian Volman putting Bremen straight back in front, but Jacko is still scoring goals, and that is at least something. He's getting a few goals for us now. Even if he gets sort of 10-15 this year, I'd be very, very happy with his performances. Unfortunately, Nedelev gave them a 3-1 advantage not long before half time, and I felt like at that point it was going to be a real tough one for us. Thankfully, set pieces coming into play again, and Michael Lufner getting one back for us with 35 minutes to go, and we really did. We went on attacking, and we actually didn't concede at that point and did look quite strong. They had a couple of injuries, so I figured, you know, we could probably try and nick something here, but unfortunately, yet again, we just fell short of getting something out of the game, but we are improving, I feel. And finally, we had the Cup away at Leverkusen. Now, of course, we lost 3-2 to Leverkusen earlier in the season, and this one was even closer. They were definitely the better team in this game. Make no mistake about it. We were so close to getting away with this. Kapushka gave us the lead on 64 minutes, and oh, it was just glorious. We were winning away, and I thought if we can get through here, that would do us financially the world of good. But unfortunately, Adam Murphy, with 3 minutes left on the clock, levelled for Leverkusen. We then had to take it to extra time, and we ended up losing on penalties. Kapushka missing one in the end that actually cost us the match, which was a shame. I also think he's going to be missing for a while. He was just back, and I think he's picked up an injury in training, which means he may miss today's game. But all of that leaves the league looking like this. We are 14th, only a point above the relegation playoff spot. So despite picking up a couple of wins, we've really still struggling. We're struggling, and I think you would sort of expect that, really. But we're doing okay. We're keeping our heads above water at the moment. We're kind of in that bottom group with us, Freiburg, Hanover, Nuremberg, and obviously Mainz, who have finally won a game now. And I think it's up to us to try and stay at the head of that, but we are playing Köln today, who were starting off poorly, but have kind of picked themselves up a little bit now. And if we can get a win today, we can start to try and catch up a little bit, basically. That's certainly the plan. But things aren't going too bad. We're losing money still at the moment, but the board keep telling me that the finances are going to improve, and I can only assume that's because we've got money coming our way. So you just never know where we're going to be at the end of this season and what kind of budgets we're going to be looking at for next year, because, you know, we've not had any big managerial offers. I haven't extended my contract, though, so we may have to just judge things at the end of the season, because we may well be able to do another season with Hertha. It just depends, because I don't want to, as much as I don't want to stay at one club for too long, I also don't want to just keep moving around too much, but I do want to find a club that's perfectly positioned to be the team that we take forward, and I'm wondering if maybe one more move, we might have one more move in us to find that club, but we'll have to wait and see. So let's take a quick gander at the squad. Top goal scorer at the moment, of course, is Jacko with 5 in 12, which isn't quite. I'd like him to maybe have like 1 in 2 for us if he can. And Kelvin, of course, has 3. As you can see, we're missing Breno and Kapushka again, which is a shame. We've struggled with a few injuries this month. Todorowski missed a couple of games too, which was a bit of a nightmare, but we do at least have decent backups now, which is thankful. As you can see, Jalari's got himself 5 assists so far this season, which is fantastic. 3 man of the match awards for him is out of this world. His pass completion is a little low, but hey, I'm not bothered by that. Best pass completion in this team. Look at that, Todorowski and Kraus. Nearly 90% completion, and he's played like 11 matches, so that is fantastic. He's got a fantastic tackling record too. Look at that, 14 tackles per game. This lad loves a tackle. Average rating, of course, he's still the man at the minute. Like, he came to me and said, you know, I want to go and join Bayern. And basically, I did the old, well, we'll let you leave if they match our valuation. And he actually did agree to that, so that's fine. I'll just keep moving and pricing them out. Or unless they offer me like 20 million, then I may have to accept. Key aerial challenges, of course, is Lufner with 34. Key passes is Jalari with 50. So that's looking tasty. Key tackles is 7 for Weissenberger. And interceptions, of course, is Weissenberger again. As for value, 3.4 million for Todorowski. That says a lot for me. I just want to see where we kind of rank on key pass stats. As you can see, Jalari's only 2 passes behind championship winning team Schalke with Julian Draxler. I should also point out that Brendan Rodgers is the manager of Schalke, from what I remember. Let me just quickly take a little gander at that. Yep, he is the manager of Schalke. So there you go. Right, let's jump into this one then. It's going to be tough, but if there's a winnable game, I feel like it's this one, basically. We've had a little bit of a poor run, and if we can get a win here over a team that are starting to come on the up, we need to pull ourselves out of this slump. You know, it's 1 win in the last 6, and 4 defeats on the bounce, 3 of which are in the league. We're still not looking that bad, though. We've lost them all by narrow margins. So Breno isn't going to be playing, but that means, unfortunately, Andreas Schweinsteiger is going to have to come in. We're missing a few, as you can see, so that's not totally great, but thankfully having people like Meffert, Jalauri and Kelvin now have given us that little bit of extra support, basically. Kraus is now back fit, but he's still a little bit on the fence. Unfortunately, I had to rush Kapushka back into play because of injuries, and unfortunately that's probably why he got injured again in training, but it's one of those things we have to deal with. Right, let's jump into this and hope that the Christmas tree of doom comes up trumps for us, because we've not done so well. But then again, I felt the 2-2 draw against Dortmund was actually a great result. Köln are the favourites here, but let's see if we are all good. Yep, we are. Good. Breno, well, yeah, exactly. Don't know who that is. Let's move on. Ooh, they're playing a 4-1-4-1. We've not come up against a 4-1-4-1 for a little while, from what I remember. Let's see. We need a big game from Jacko. One thing I would say about Jacko, and I'm going to hopefully not jinx this by saying this, but he rarely ever misses too many games through injury. In fact, I don't think he ever has. If he gets injured in a game, he's almost never actually out for any length of time, which is fantastic, which is why he's been able to be so consistent. I'm guessing he's almost the opposite of injury prone. Todorovsky's ball out to Meffert. Oh, this is something that worked well for us against Dortmund. Those short corners with Meffert and Todorovsky really linking up nicely. Meffert, ball across, Jacko with the header, and it is 1-0 to Hertha, and that is the result we needed. Ryan Jacko with his 6th goal of the season, all of which have been in the league. Let's just scroll this down to the bottom here so you can see where things are going. But that will be a massive, massive win for us, because it will move us 6 points clear of the automatic drop zone and 4 points clear of the relegation playoff. And I feel like in a relegation up trumps, but I'd rather not finish there at all. I'm aiming to try and finish sort of 14th, 15th. Lovely little ball in from Meffert, and a good little header there from Ryan Jacko. Goalkeeper maybe could have done a little bit better, but it is 1-0 to Hertha, and that's the start we needed in this match. Oh no, they're going to do an immediate equaliser, aren't they? Finn and, oh, Weissenberger, and it's cleared. Well done there. Nicholas Weissenberger saving us at 1. Sorry, not saving us at 1. Wow, Köln have actually started this game incredibly strongly. That's what I would say, but we are winning it, and that is the key for us at the moment. And I guess the fact that we're winning means that we can just play our counter-attacking style. Not that we wouldn't be doing that anyway, but I think it just gives us more license to do so. Moreno, Aziz, Mukhtar. Oh, they've got crosses now. Schultz is quite wide. Moreno, oh, come on, guys. It's so narrow. They've played fantastically well today, I've got to say. We've not been at it, which is weird. In terms of possession and pass completion, we've been fine, but we're just not getting a lot of chances on goal today. I'm a little bit disappointed that they've been able to score from that type of angle, though, I must say. It's a poor one to concede, particularly with defenders in the way. There's 2 of them there, and a goalkeeper. We should not be letting them Moreno score from that kind of angle. But it is what it is. Vucicevic now, maybe an instant reply from us, and it's a penalty. Wow, okay. We really don't deserve that. I mean, obviously it was a penalty, but I really don't think we deserve to be given a chance to take the lead here. We're going to need to really put the fear of God into them at half-time. Kelvin steps up, and it is 2-1 to Hertha. Very much against the run of play, but hey, maybe we'll take our little bit of luck, and we've had some poor luck in recent games, particularly against Leipzig, so maybe this is the day that our luck all comes up trumps. We've only had 2 shots on target, and they've both gone in the back of the net, so believe me, I'm fully aware of how lucky we are to be winning this game. If we can get at half-time at 2-1, we can put the fear of God into them and tell them to just, yeah, improve, guys, improve. I'm certainly not happy with them, but they've done all right. Right, we'll just move a few things around here. Yeah, that's more like it. They've gone to a sort of 4-2-2-2, almost like our Red Star tactic, actually, so that's an interesting one. Maybe that'll actually play into our hands more in this second half. Finn has gone straight around the back there, and look at that from Lufner. If anything, that sort of tactic might play into our hands a bit more, because they've left a big gap for us to exploit. Their middle of the park might be a little bit more open. I'm wondering if this might actually help us. That being said, they are going to be playing incredibly attacking, so that in its own right could potentially help us as well, because we are, as you know, lethal on the break. Kraft now. Schweinsteiger out wide. He could be the weak link for us today, unfortunately. Into Jalauri. Oh, don't lose the ball there. That's poor. Jalauri's done such a good job this season, but that is really, really poor on his part. Gerhardt. Dux. Oh, come on, guys. That was poor. We did so well to defend that up until... I genuinely thought we'd managed to get away with that then, but there was a little bit of a mix-up after the chance was gone. Poor defending by not tracking the runner there. Great save from Kraft, and then, oh my god, what are you, why is he not clearing that? I'm sorry, what was that? He's right there and he's not clearing it and just allowing their defender to score. I hate that crap. Right, oh hello, another set piece. Drop short to Meffert. Surely we're not going to go back in front again. Meffert, Jacko! Oh, it's 3-2 to Hertha. Ryan Jacko. Once again, against the run of play, we are having a lovely day here. We're taking our chances. We don't deserve this at all, but we're taking our chances. Once again, Meffert's going to grab himself another assist. He only seems like he's not done that for a little while, but look at that again. Jacko, poor goalkeeping. A brace today for Ryan Jacko. That's more like it from him. We may have to make... Oh, great. Insta highlight. This looks like it could be a bit of a humdinger of a match. I don't think the scoring is done yet, and I still think we could end up losing this 4-3 because they're not going to stop coming at us, and I'm certainly not going to... Oh, okay, fair enough. Just allow that one to happen. They have had a lot of long shots. That's what I would say. Like, they've had a lot more shots than us, but 8 of which have been long shots. So in terms of decent shots, it would seem that we're actually quite even on that one. I'm going to get Kraus on, I think, for Jalari, who's not really had the best day of it so far. And actually, we'll just stick with that for now. Just going to kind of see where we can go with this. I might make some more changes around about 80 minutes, maybe a double, maybe just a single sub, depending on who and what is looking knackered, basically, and who's not having the best game. Kraft here. We've played... Well, no, so we haven't played well. We've taken our chances well, and we've actually had a few little defensive screw-ups ourselves that have allowed... Both their goals have come from us being a bit poor in the back, so I guess we can take that both good and bad things in the sense that they weren't able to create good chances, but they did have some good opportunities themselves. Jacko, my shadow striker, should be running into that space, and he's not. Jacko's done a bloody good job by himself, though. Meffert running through here, and it's blocked. My shadow striker should be making that run, and he's not, and I don't quite know why. I mean, Jacko held the ball up there fantastically well, but the reason he does that is to allow that extra runner. Meffert's ball in, Lufner dropped down, and Kraus should be able to get to this and just recycle the possession for another... Oh dear, that's so poor. Vucicevic, thankfully, is across. Todorovsky, Weissenberger, Kraus. That's some quick play. Jacko, Meffert, wow, look at this. Tiki-taka around the box and he's offside there. We just overplayed it a little bit. Right, I'm going to make the substitutions now, or a substitution now. In fact, no, sorry, we're looking a bit knackered. So we're going to get Dennis Rudolph on here for Weissenberger because he's knackered, he's not having a good game, and he's on a booking. And have we got a centre mid? I might have to be... It's going to have to be Radziewski, I think. No, he can't really play there. Oh, I should tell you what, it'll be Bayrak. Because he's... Kelvin as well, though. Kelvin as well, though. It's a tough one because they're both important players. They really are. Hopefully that will see us through to the end of this game. Even if we were to get a draw, it wouldn't be awful, but I feel like a win here would be fantastic for us. We're so close to a really good, hard-fought victory in a game that perhaps we didn't deserve it. That being said, 12 long shots for them. Jacko with a brace as well. Cleared downfield, Moreno, well, we're in stoppage time now, and we should in theory be done. Gerhardt. And a long-range shot, yet again, blazed wide. They've had a lot of shots, but they've been mostly from long range. And there you go, Hertha 3, Köln 2, and that is a massive, massive win for us. 2 goals and an assist for Jacko, and 2 assists for Jonas Meffert. It's a great performance from Ryan Jacko. Those are the kind of performances we need to see him turning in every week. It's only our 3rd win of the season, but it's winning those home games that is going to keep us up. I think a point a game should be enough if we can keep that kind of level of performance going. But a decent, enticing game, and perhaps we were very lucky in that one. I don't know, it's hard to say we're very lucky or not. They had a lot of shots, but they also did have a lot of good, more clear-cut chances than us. So for me, I still think we were quite lucky to get away with a win there. Right, I already decided what game I was going to do next, because the next game, or the last game before the sort of large break, and I made the mistake of doing that across an episode last time, and that was painful. So the next episode, the live com, will be the home game against Hoffenheim, who are really high in the league, so expect that to be a tough one. But it's also the last game before the winter break, so hopefully we'll have a good idea of where we're going to kind of be struggling after Christmas. And I might... Depends on what the money's like. We'll have to see if we can bring anyone in, but at the moment we've got no transfer budget and £450 free in wages, so it is looking incredibly tight down there, and we're still losing money, but hey, we're doing our best, and I think there's going to be a positive end of this season at least. We can certainly keep them up. I feel that we've got it in us. We've got some good wins there, and we're not winning by much when we do win, but we're also not losing by that much when we do lose. Only those 2 bad results against Stuttgart and Bayern have we really looked outclassed. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, please do drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Outcast icons and From the Shadows in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I'll see you guys in the next episode for the home match against Hoffenheim. Let's see where we're going to be by then. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.